Well, hello everyone. My name is JJ Asgar, and I am going to be playing with OpenShift today. I work for IBM as a developer advocate, and if you don't know, about this time last week-ish, it was announced that the deal between Red Hat and IBM was successful and had closed. One of the major pushes that Red Hat has is something called OpenShift. And as a good IBM employee, I've kind of pushed myself to try to start learning OpenShift. And I started doing some research on it and noticed that there's a way to run it on your local laptop called Minishift. So I'm going to spend the next couple hours playing around with Minishift. And then I've also spun up a beta installation of OpenShift on IKS, which is the IBM Kubernetes service. So if I see some issues or I run into some, or I don't know, at some point I might just try running it on the IBM cloud instead. This is going to be me just trying to run around and learn this stuff. I literally have just opened the website, as you can see here. And then the Minishift site is actually running on, is hosted here on GitHub. Now, if you'll notice immediately that OpenShift 3x is what Minishift uses, while if you look at the site, OpenShift 4 has already been released. So there's already disparity there, which is a little bit interesting to deal with, but we'll see how that goes. I did notice something already off the bat, just by going to Wikipedia, there was some very clear definition here, and I will make this bigger so y'all can see. So this right here, it turns out OpenShift isn't just one application, it's multiple different levels, just kind of like using Red Hat, RHEL, CentOS, and Fedora. There are multiple versions of OpenShift out there. This OKD services a community-driven upstream akin to CentOS. I didn't know this existed until doing this research here. So I thought that was kind of neat and a nice learning experience. Maybe at a future stream, I'll try to set up OKD on an on-premise data center, or on-premise Kubernetes instance that I have. See how that goes. And then it seems that you can actually run OpenShift online as a hosted application, as a software as a service, and you can actually have as a dedicated platform. So you can actually have a specifically dedicated version. So there's so many more versions of OpenShift out there that I had no idea existed, which is quite interesting. So let's go ahead and start giving this a shot and see how it goes. Hopefully my typing isn't too loud. I'm using my my mechanical keyboard again. The last stream I hadn't had set it up, so I will make sure that the sound isn't too loud, and we'll move on from there. So first thing first. So that's OpenShift in a nutshell. I need to set up the actual environment first, and this is a Ubuntu box, and here is my my terminal, as you can see here. I don't think that's large enough, so let me make it a little bit bigger for y'all. And if you have any questions or thoughts, please don't hesitate to post them in the channel. I would love to have more of a conversation here about what's going on. Hopefully that's good enough for y'all. I'm going to the actual OKD site. This is actually how you get OpenShift or Minishift up and running. As you can see, here's Minishift right here. And I'm going to start doing the KVM drivers. So let's first go ahead and sudo apt-get update to make sure my cache is up to date. And there we go. It's going along just great. Pulling the stuff down. And then I'm going to be installing KVM and QEMU and libvirt. I have multiple different virtualization systems on this This will be interesting to see how this all plays together. See if it has everything we need. And yes, go ahead and install. It's pulling it all down. I truly have never done this before, so I'm going to be walking through every single little bit to see how it works. And I figure what better way to do it than live. Just thinking about it. And what better way than copying code directly from the internet and just throwing it on my machine? But that's I trust at least this side enough. All right, add us to the libvirt group. Done that. Update your current setting and apply the group change. Okay. And then as root, install the KVM driver binary and make it executable as follows. Okay. So I'll curl this down. Right there. Okay. And make it like so. So then if I come back out, okay, so we actually have our Docker machine plugin binary. It is actually in our path, so we can actually make sure that it's doing what I expect it to do. That's good. We don't need to worry about this. And then let us go ahead and check the status of libvirt is active. Good. Let's check our libvirt networking. It is auto started, persistent state is active. Yes, that is good. All right. Start the default libvirt network. It is already active. That is good, and it is already default. But I'll go ahead and run this anyway to make sure. It is marked as defaulted. Okay, proceed to the installing Minishift as soon as your hypervisor is installed and configured. Okay. And it doesn't seem to have a... I have to do it manually install, it seems. Alright, so mkdir mini, mkdir minishift. As you can see, I put minikube before. I'll go ahead and pull on the tarball. Copy link. Go away. I don't need you right now. Paste. Pulling it down. There we go. TARXVF Minishift. Oh, interesting. There's only one real binary. Huh. That is surprising. It says I should add Minishift to my path, so I will do echo $path. As you can see, I have quite a bit of path here. So what I'll do is I'll do path equals home JJ Minishift, or just put that here, $path. Okay, so what I did is I added this to the front of my path. So if I type Minishift now you'll see it's found. And I only did it temporarily. I didn't add it to my actual bash.h profile because I don't know if this is where I'm going to want to keep Minishift or anything like that. Having it in multiple directories seems a little bit weird. So we'll do this temporarily for now. Okay. All right, so let's do the quick start here. It just says Minishift start. Shift start. All right, so it's pulling down the OC binary. It made sure that it can get to GitHub. It's downloading the checksums. It's pulling down an ISO now. And then it looks like it'll do a bunch of stuff and then give me access. Wow. Really? This is surprisingly easy. Give me a nice little 4 gig VM there with 20 gigs and 2 vCPUs. So it's nothing to shake a stick at, which is nice. Let's see here. Everything's coming through. The sound's fine. That's good to know. And it looks like there we go. Just thinking about it. Still starting. Starting a VM. What is being a sysadmin, but just waiting for progress bars to go along. Nice and slow, right? There we go. Oop. Mounting everything, bringing everything up. Made sure it had network connectivity. Go on to 8.8.8. That is doing a lot of stuff, isn't it? It's pulling a bunch of container images down, it seems. So originally I thought I was going to go through this page, but it turns out it actually just sends you directly over to it. It's going to show the Minishift still on IRC. It seems that a lot of Red Hat, the Red Hat ecosystem is still actually on Freenode, which is really cool compared to a lot of companies nowadays that are on Slack. I still prefer IRC. Everything can just be in one location, but that's a conversation for a different time. So luckily we don't actually need this. But if you want to check it out, it's Minishift/Minishift on GitHub. Alright, copying the binary over. I could have actually used VirtualBox, it seems here, as you see here. Minishift start VirtualBox. But I wanted to actually use KVM just because it was the suggested one at the beginning. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Now, it would be really, really cool if I could use something like vCenter or like a remote cloud to spin up Minishift against that. Now, that would be really interesting because, you know, not everyone has a nice beefy laptop like I do where I can run a small 4 gig VM. I know companies out there don't allow you to run virtualization at all on these things, and being able to connect to a remote virtualization system to spin up one of these would be pretty cool. Though I understand the business implications of that, being that why would you ever need to pay for it if you can just run Minishift instead? So, you know, it's the back and forth of that, I guess. All right, still waiting for it to come up. I have a little Cloud Foundry application off of Bluemix. GitHub.com/DJI-star. What did I call it? CF Labs. Here we go. So it's just a very small, basic example here. But my goal is to take this small little app here that I have, which, as you can see, is just literally a little Sinatra app. And I was thinking of using it to run on this OpenShift instance. So I can figure out the process of getting OC uploaded into it and actually see it pop up inside of OpenShift. It seems like a reasonable test. And I was a Rubyist for a very, very long time. So running something like Sinatra is really easy for me. This little repo is just an example repo that I would run at a conference or something. If I was sitting at a booth, I would just kick it off and just let it run over and over and over again, just to kind of show using Cloud Foundry and updating this Bluemix instance every single time. But once again, it's just a very simple little Sinatra app that just runs over and over again. So I don't need that anymore. I'll need that later. Still starting up our cluster. Okay. Still waiting for it to be started. Be interesting if that's the actual IP that comes up. It's going along. Still starting our cluster. If anyone has any questions or thoughts or anything, I'm more than willing to answer anything. Watching dots go across the screen is not exciting. Not exciting at all. But that's what infrastructure is, right? Just waiting for more dots to go across the screen. So going back to the ODK site, copy. I'm curious to see, there was, so the OKD is basically the equivalent of CentOS for OpenShift. So that means we can use this anywhere, just like you can use CentOS anywhere and not have to pay Red Hat anything. That's an interesting. As someone who used to use CentOS at another company as our main operating system. It's solid. It works great. There's no real, nothing too crazy about it. It's a solid OS. But this one seems, this would be interesting to see how this comes together on this guy. So you have to install Docker and then add a bunch of registry stuff. Open up a bunch of. So if you notice already, being this requires Fedora and RHEL, which is obvious. being this is Red Hat, right? But I would be curious to get Fedora up and running on a remote machine and then running. So the advantage of OpenShift is it gives you much more visibility into your Kubernetes cluster, right? That's the whole point you would use something like OpenShift. Especially in an enterprise environment. The actual dashboard for Kubernetes is pretty small. Like, it really genuinely is. There's not a lot there. And there's a lot of bespoke businesses coming up to give you real visibility into your Kubernetes cluster. OpenShift gives you enterprise level visibility, things that enterprises should look for. So that's important to keep in mind. Again, this just seems to bring up a local instance of it. Administrator access. You can talk to it, has its own registry, that's cool. But again, I'm not seeing the value from up here. Okay, there's a distributed Kubernetes optimized for continuous application deployment and multi-tenant deployment, so it's enterprise friendly. Okay, it embeds and excels with security and other integrated concepts. Okay, they refer to the origin. Okay, so it's enterprise ready Kubernetes. That's what it is. Aha! So we are done. So let's go ahead and check out our console. Go ahead and put that there. And yes, I accept this risk. Looks like we actually have OpenShift up and running. Yep. I'll zoom in a little bit here. And I will do is devel. I can't spell. Save. Okay. Wow. So we're already seeing stuff here. You can create an ephemeral Jenkins instances. That's always useful. It has a whole catalog already here. Interesting. You can create new projects, languages. Aha, Ruby. So we can play around with our Sinatra app. Got some databases in the back end. Good. Interesting that HTTPD is considered middleware in a framework. That seems weird. Some Jenkins and Nginx with a. That doesn't feel right. Okay. So we're up and running now. What's next? So Minishift OCEMB shift. So we can go ahead and export out this and then evaluate that. So OC, we have OC now. Aha! They give us a demo application. Good. Good, good, good. Alright. So, such as templates, builder application, quick starts, the following describes no departs command line. Okay. So we'll come back up over here. OC new app, Node.js, my app, called that. Nope. Copy. Paste. So I'm going to create a new app using the OC command, which obviously is OpenShift. Name it with my app. It's taking it, it's doing a bunch of stuff. What did it do here? Found the image, 9 months old, stream OpenShift Node.js. Installed 10.12. Node.js. Use start build to trigger any build. Port 8080 with my Node.js. Creating resources in my app. It built everything. Then, just like it suggests here, use OC logs build X to track its progress. The application is not exposed. You can expose it via microservices. Cloning, it's still doing its work. It looks like it's actually following it. Yep, because we did have good. So when it is deployed, we will expose it. And then we'll access the application. Okay, so the next logical step after this is done, how is this actually... Oh, crap. Copy. Paste and go. Alright, so is it a full app? Yeah, it's a server.js package. So it actually runs, I'm assuming, everything you need to run a Node app against it. So could I just pull my Ruby app into it? Looks like there's an OpenShift. Oh, there's a whole pipeline enabled with this? Oh, God. Oh no, it's just an instant example pipeline. Okay, good. Good. Runs Helm. Whew. It's a lot more than I was expecting. Okay. So where is this guy? Is it shown up yet? Excuse me. Uh-oh. That's not good. Uh-oh. Alright. Developer. Oh, it's doing work. There we go. Now doing npm. Good. Okay. That's not bringing a lot of confidence in here. Okay, here we go. Here's the catalog. Still doing that. Okay, so it's actually building it. That's good. Now it's pushing. Did it finish? Ah, here we go. So we created that new project, and then Node.js, now it's deploying. And we have one pod up and running. And we've got the one container. Okay. So that looks right. And it's successfully built. As we can see here, fixing permissions app roots. So it's the same information that we saw on the command line in here. So it actually has a whole build process. Okay. Which is one of the advantages of OpenShift. Awesome. All right. So let's go ahead and expose this. Alright, it exposed it. So if I go back over here, that would be too easy. maybe if I go copy, paste, import 8080, maybe on that. No, that's too, that would be too easy too. Let's try copy. Same IP. That's what I was expecting, but not what I wanted. Deployments. No. I want to go back here. View all projects. My project. Oh, this is different. So it looks like I actually got it up and running. It just took a second. If you can't read it, let me zoom in here. So source code now forked from the okay, configure webhook. So this basically says whenever you change code on this repository, it will kick off a new build. All right, so let's give that a shot, shall we? Pull this over here, and then make that big. Copy this link over here. Copy link. Paste and go. All right, so I will fork this into my namespace. Okay. Then from the web console homepage, browse. Ooh, that's more information I was expecting. Browse builds. No. Web console homepage. Builds. Link your build config name. Is that this thing? Click on configuration tab. Configuration. Copy to keyboard. GitHub URL. But this is local. This isn't a real. This isn't a real IP. What is noip.io? Yeah, it's just a local. Like, this isn't. Okay, so I need to actually do this on a real external OpenShift instance. So that's the yeah. So this has to be done on a real external. This won't work on Minishift because there's no way that OpenShift or this guy could find this machine because this isn't routable. As you see, 192, 168, 42, 226. So I'll have to come back to the setting up the deploying code changes and all that when I get that instance up and running, which actually is done, believe it or not. Maybe after my first break, I'll go ahead and start doing. I'll come back to this Node.js. I'm going to spend this next time trying to get that this little web app of mine into OpenShift. Let's just kind of poke around there for a little bit. All right, so view all projects. Let's create a project. Call it JJ Learning Stuff. JJ Learning Stuff. All right, cool. All right. Add content to your projects. I would like to deploy an image. Not what I wanted to do, because that's actually deploying an actual Docker image. I don't need to deploy YAML. Select from a project. That's pulling it in from another local project. Okay. So how about deploy code to OpenShift? How to deploy code to OpenShift? That seems reasonable. Let's see here. I don't want to build a container. Oh, do I have to build a container? It looks like I have to. But I just want to pull down my code. How do I pull down my code into this? Creating new applications. Aha, here we go. This is more like what I'm looking for. Shift R. So, what I'll do is come back over here. OC. Good. Alright. So if I go to repo, CF, medium, CF, yeah. So copy CF to OC. Let's go to labs. Do that. OC, let's go labs. Alright. Specifying the source code. Much better. OC new app. Create an application using a Git repository at the current directory. That's what I want. Ooh, if you didn't see that, it actually identified and found it was a Ruby application. That's cool. Source code using Git from there we go. Awesome. Use start to build a new build. Port 8080. This is pretty sexy. Oh. Interesting. Alright. It has been scheduled, so let's actually see what it's doing. Post key verified. Make sure you correct access right to. So I need to give this. How do I give it the rights to be able to do things. Well, maybe I need to change it to HTTP instead of going to the Git. So what did it add? Git status. So you actually did what I wanted you to, but you did it to the wrong. So you did the new app. So can I? These are all good stuff. Okay, so there we go. So if I do new app and then do the correct reference, which is, but I don't want it to do it this way. This guy? It doesn't feel right. Let's do hub create git push origin master hub browse browse. Yeah, okay. Git rm/git git init git add git commit first commit git push origin master p.git config. So what I'm doing here is I am attempting to push this up into here and then have it tack against it and then create a new repo and be able to pull from it. But it seems that it only likes, oops, it pulls it from the Git URL, I think. So if I do git at here, when I want to push, it won't actually push it up. But then I need to change it back to the other one, this. So when I do the OC new app here, it sees that it's GitHub OC master. See, okay. And now when I pull down from here, there we go. Now it's actually pulling it down because it was trying to use the Git repo to do it. So that's interesting. That's a little gotcha right there. Because I'm not going to add a key to pull this down from over here. Hopefully that makes sense. It was a little roundabout, but it worked. Okay, so that means don't need to read you later. Here we go. So I should actually see something here now. Shouldn't I? No. Why don't I see anything here yet? I'm waiting for the logs. It should pull it down. There we go. It's building the Ruby application of source. Bundler. Bundler's out of date. That's fun. Installing all the stuff. pushing it, pushing the layers. Okay. So hopefully the OpenShift one on IBM Cloud, I'll actually be able to change this to point this to there, and I'll change the code. Maybe, I wonder if it has selections for PRs too. Ooh, that would be interesting. That would be really interesting. So then you could actually make change. Oh, you could even set up, using OpenShift, in theory, you could actually set up static websites, right? And then put like Nginx in front of it and just host a bunch of static websites and have people actually be able to change the stuff on GitHub. Oh, that would be really, really cool. Oh, that'd be fun. Okay, but one thing at a time. Refresh this. And do we see? We don't see. Oh, it's under my project. That's the reason why. Okay. So do we have two? We do have two. And it failed to build. Why did you fail? Oh. That's the second. That's the first build. Where is... What? Yeah, I don't want that. All projects. So where did you go? Huh. Okay. This is weird. Let's see the status, was it? Failed. No. Deployment deployed about a minute ago, one pod. One warning. What? So I need to go down here to the warning. Why aren't you putting that in there? I put it in the wrong place. Okay, back to this guy. I don't want to push that. Okay, so let's see new app help. So back to, it built it, but it wasn't successful, which is weird. Oh, that's fine. Oh, that's okay for now. Back to, not that. Not that either. Deal with you later. Here we go. There we go. So my project tilde thing. Oh, Jesus. All right. So new app. So I want to do this under, what was I call it? Did I call it? I called it JJ learning stuff. Slash OC Asgar Labs tilde. Where's tilde? Tilde. And then I can even tell it what specific base image I wanted to use the image stream my project. No. That's not right. I don't want to build strategy. Context. Specific branch. Okay. Oh, did I not do that? Let's see, start build. Must pass the name of the build config or specify from build flag. OC status. No, this one. Okay, so you tried deploying it. Source build, OpenShift Ruby, 5 minutes ago, 1 pod. OC status, what the hell does that do? Info errors. Try inspect the avail failure. Oh, that's not very helpful, is it? Let's try that. Yeah, I know that. That's why I changed it to pull down the HTTP. No eyewitness probes, that's fine. Ugh. Okay, so I still don't actually have So you're building it. There's no Docker file here, so I can't build that. I don't want to build an image stream. I need you to build it. Wait. Oh, wait. There's 2. Oh. Oh, wow. Oops. Oh, wow. I've been looking at the wrong thing this whole time. Okay. So then I need to expose OC Asgard Labs. There we go. There we go. Took a second, but hello humans there. Woohoo! Okay, so we've successfully put in another application into Minishift using OC, building a new application, putting in the wrong project, mind you, but that's not a big deal. And then actually pushed it in. So now we have a Node app and a Ruby simple Ruby app running inside of here. And I can scale up as many pods as I want to. As you can see, pulling it, doing its thing, and I can start building from it. So what I'll do now is I'm about to hit the hour mark, am I? Yeah, I'm actually just about to hit the hour mark. Perfect. I'll give myself a couple-minute break here. I'll go ahead and destroy this, just to show it for completion's sake. Minishift. Stop. So it'll bring it all down. And as I said, the OpenShift cluster on IKS is now up and running. So I will start pulling it in, or start using the external one. And I will attach it to, being that I've already figured out how to do this, I'll go ahead and attach it to, nope, not this one, this guy, and push it out and update the code on this one, and then we'll actually see it happen on the real internet and from there, which will be pretty cool. Because then, in theory, I could actually use this simple app and just changing words here and there to be able to do all that stuff. That's really cool. That's fun. This is starting to make some sense to me. So I'm going to go ahead and take a couple minute break, do a bio, all that jazz, and then I will be back. So thank you so much for watching so far, if you are. This has been surprisingly painless as soon as I got my head wrapped around it. So I'll be back in a minute. All right. So I think we're back online now. Hopefully you can see the JJ Streaming IBM or Asgard Labs. And I have a friend with me now. Hey, Will, say hi.
Hey guys.
There we go. So according to my OBS, you were captured just fine, which means you should be actually on the thing now, which is awesome. So, yeah, Will's a coworker of mine. You may have seen him on the other streams from IBM Developer. He was asking some questions, and I figured why not just have him hop on and do some play shotgun. Basically, all you can see right now is the screen that we're doing here. But Will, did you catch the first half of me doing this work?
The end of it. Unfortunately, I had some matters outside I had to go attend to, but
Oh, no worries. So how about we just start off here? Have you ever played with OpenShift before?
I have not actually played with Kubernetes, but never OpenShift.
Okay. What do you know about OpenShift?
I know that it is I know that it is a platform.
Okay.
I know that Kubernetes is involved somehow. I know that OpenStack can also be involved. I know it's from Red Hat, and that's about all I know.
Okay. All right. That's acceptable. That's acceptable. So as I've discovered today, OpenShift really is a layer on top of Kubernetes that makes the developer experience honestly significantly better. It's funny, some of the work we're working on another project, OpenShift could actually make some of our lives a lot better with it. Compiling our application and deploying it and actually controlling it in a way that normally you have to build this stuff by hand inside of Kubernetes. So what I was able to do with Minishift here, by the way, all you need to do is really go through this documentation right here, the OKD documentation and the Minishift getting started. And it is surprisingly painless to get up and running.
Okay.
And
I always like to do that.
yeah, and I'll even say it even has an Arch path for you. So if you want to play, on your little your hipster OS version, you still can even do it there. So yeah, but we've moved past Minishift. We've been able to get that working. So we're actually going to play in real OpenShift on the beta release here on IBM Cloud. As you can see, here's IBM Cloud, and it does expire after the OpenShift beta is completed. So this is not a long-lived instance. That's not a big deal. So if you are looking at this in the future and you're wondering why this is different, this is the beta release of it. If you don't know, and Will, have you actually ever tried to do this before?
I have not.
All right, so I'll go ahead and just show you how I got it up and running real quick. I went into my Kubernetes offering here on the IBM Cloud. And then I went to create cluster. And then it's just smack dab right here in the middle. Create a new OpenShift instance. And it's right here. FYI, it defaults to multi-zone. That's the reason why it looks so insanely expensive. Click that single zone. And then, click down to one worker node. Especially if you're trying to learn this stuff. Then it becomes significantly more reasonable to play with, and that's if you're running for a month, and it's only 29 cents per hour up and running, which if you are just playing with this on an afternoon to kind of learn how to do this, you can, and as long as you're being attentive of your usage, you can play with this on the real internet in a reasonable amount of money for under $5, which seems reasonable, right?
No, very reasonable.
So don't be all scared of all these numbers and all that. There's a free tier.
I spent more on my coffee this morning.
The free tier though does not allow you to do OpenShift, so keep that in mind. You actually do have to standard, and you do need a credit card attached to it, or attached to your account, which is just a spam filtering thing. We don't want people taking advantage of us. So remember that. Cut it down to one worker node, turn off the multi-zone, have a credit card attached, and you can do this for for about $5 or $6 for an afternoon's worth of fun.
So JJ.
Yes, sir.
Why would I choose OpenShift versus say just like a standard Kubernetes cluster, which I'm already familiar with?
So right now, what I'm about to show you is the sugar on top, which is in my opinion, one of the coolest parts of this. It gives you a nice little web console, which I'll bring it up right now, actually, because I need to do that. And oops, what am I doing wrong here? Where'd it go? Web console. Come on, don't make a liar out of me. It gives you a nice web console that allows you to do some really, really strong pop-up block. Aha! That would make sense.
So turn it off.
Yeah. Always allow from there. OpenShift web console. Here we go. Logging in, doing its thing. So it gives you this really, really, really nice interface to your projects, where this is what we're going to be playing with. It gives you your own registry. It gives you your own environment to be able to play around with stuff. So when you play with Kubernetes as a developer, you have to build your container and then ship your container into Kubernetes, right? And run my application.
I mean, it's a lot easier than administering like a whole VM by yourself, but there's still a fair bit of boilerplate.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to do the effort. It seems that OpenShift has actually taken some of that process of building the container, shipping it into Kubernetes, and then exposing the ports to actually run to make it much easier. And it seems that there's an actual catalog to build specific versions of databases, OSs, or programming languages and whatnot. And my goal here is actually to use the Ruby build here, just like I did on Minishift a little while ago, inside of this environment. But we need to actually talk to OpenShift first. So we need to go to the console from the drop-down menu, upper right, click login command. So this guy, copy login command. The token is a form. Can you see that? Is that too small?
No, I can see it.
Okay.
But it is pretty small though, so maybe increase the font size a little bit. There we go.
That is better. Okay. So I'm going to be posting this here. As you can see here on this side, that token is not going to be valid after this, so don't even bother. I'm going to log into C2E East Containers Cloud IBM, this port with this token. So I am now logged in as my IAM role of jja@ibm.com. Yes, I have a 3-letter IBM email address, which is pretty cool. And then I have accessed the following projects and switched between them with OC project name. All these seem pretty standard for like what you would be building. So what I think I need to do is I need to create a new project. Let's call it JJ and Will Streaming. JJ and Will Streaming. And just any description here. So we created a new one. So what we'll do is OC project JJ and Will.
Got a type on project.
I do, don't I? Project streaming. All right. So we are now in that project. Uh-oh. Am I beeping? I'm
So what exactly are we in? Are we in a container? Are we in a VM?
right now, we are on my local laptop talking to the IBM Cloud OpenShift instance.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. OC get NS. Oh. NS. Okay. And we see we are there. Okay. Now. Now, excuse me. My blood sugar is crashing, so I need some sugar. We can we have a lot of options here. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to, as I did earlier with excuse me, the Minishift, I'm going to actually push this little Asgard Labs application up into this this store. I learned this just a few minutes ago, so bear with me. Repo IBM OC. Now I learned that it actually pulls directly from the .git config to where to pull where it needs. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure it goes from GitLab here or GitHub and the HTTPS, so it can actually pull down. But then I'm going to change it back to this, where you'll see what will happen in just a second. So if I do new app, new app, this repository OC. What this should do, there we go. It discovered there was Ruby. It knew that it needed to come from this source code and then master. So I'm going to deploy master. It'll create an image called Asgard Logs Taste right there. So let's go ahead and start OC. Created the service. It created the scheduled build. So let's actually see where it's at now. And it's actually building the container as we speak.
So it looks like it's pushing it to the Docker registry?
The local Docker registry.
Local Docker registry.
Yep. And my theory here is probably not today, but what I want to doing is I want to use OpenShift to do all the building of the repos and put Nginx in front of it and put maybe a couple domains in front of Nginx or to Nginx there, because I think what we could do is static blog hosting on OpenShift, right? Okay. Where you could actually change a GitHub repo around or something like that, and use the webhooks that it actually teaches you here, right? This is from the Nginx demo one, where you can in theory change it on GitHub, and then OpenShift discovers with a webhook, kicks it off, and rebuilds it for you, so you can actually update live on a website using OpenShift, which I think it might be.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Does
this also have like does this have like hooks for? Because obviously, if it works with GitHub, you can also use a private GitHub to generate those same webhooks. Does it also work with, say, like GitLab, if your company happens to be using that?
From what it seems like, yes. It's just using specifically Git. as all of the actual work. So I think, and I did actually, when I was Googling around, one of the first links I saw was how to use GitLab and OpenShift. So I have a feeling there is something there. I just haven't dug too deep into it yet.
Oh no! I was more out of curiosity than anything else.
Right.
I know there is a lot of usage of GitLab as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Looks like we are actually scaling our instance now. So it's actually pushed. The push has been successful. The build's successful. We're actually bringing this up. It is not fully there yet. I don't think. Yeah, container creating. Here we go. Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Still thinking about it. And there we go. The pod is up and running. As you see, it's now in blue. For whatever reason, they chose blue to do that, which is a different conversation, I guess. Then let's see here. Next, I need to expose it. It has now been exposed. How do I get to it? Auto scale. I need to. How do I get to it?
Always the question, right?
Yeah.
Let me do some Googling in the background real quick.
Please. This seems not as obvious as it should be. It feels wrong that I go to this IP. But let's say we'll go ahead and go there with port 8080. No. Okay, good. It didn't work how I wanted it. It didn't work, which was probably what I was hoping to see. Deploy? Oh, oops. Kicked off another deployment. Yeah, I just did a manual deploy of it. No, it says it started, and I have exposed it.
So we have exposed it. We're more looking for like where do we find how to get to it.
Yes. That's
okay.
Services. Cluster IP, no external IP. That'll do it.
Oh yeah, that explains it.
Why didn't you get a external IP?
I'm very new to OpenShift, so let me make sure I'm hitting the right keywords. So assign external XP or external IP to OpenShift project.
Yeah.
Okay.
That feels right. Edit. Rolling. Actually does my container. How about while you're doing that, I will try to start attaching that external GitHub repository. What? There we go. Attach it to it via whatchamacallit, webhooks. See how that goes. Okay.
I'm seeing in the docs here, assign unique external IP for Ingress traffic.
Yes.
So one approach to getting external traffic into the cluster is by using external IP or Ingress IP addresses. This feature is only supported in non-cloud deployments. For cloud, GCE, AWS, and OpenStack deployments, use the load balancer services for automatic deployment of cloud load balancer to target the service's endpoints. So let me send you that real quick. But this is coming from OpenShift docs.openshift.com. Okay. But
so we can talk to it. We have an external IP of. Oh, hang on, let me get a little more comfortable. I've got a feeling this is going to be a lot of reading.
Yeah, I'm starting to get that feeling too.
I have no Ingress subdomain either. I'm going to put you on mute real quick.
Alrighty.
Oh, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I'll be right back.
Sorry, guys. I am frantically Googling for the answer right now.
Okay, sorry about that. That was that's what happens when you get deliveries done in the middle of the day. Things like this. So, we are attempting to find a public IP for this, and it is not showing up how we want it to. That's where we're at, right? What is a
Yes.
cluster console? Okay. Uh-oh. That's not good.
But
It sends you the .local address. That seems like a problem.
yeah, that's usually not a real TLD.
Yeah. Somebody overlooked something there. Okay. No. Keeps wanting to send me this application catalog for some reason. Yeah, there we go. OpenShift cluster local. .local. So we exposed it. It thinks it's out there, but it goes to a local address, not.
Interesting.
So it must be a configuration problem, you think? I might have done here.
Potentially?
Yeah. Seems a little odd, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like it looks like it's trying to use Kubernetes or something in the back.
Well, it is. It's OCS.
Yeah.
Or OpenShift.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like it's trying, but we're not really in the Kubernetes network there.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So 8080. Host name. Edit. Create route maybe.
Maybe? So then we take this guy, one of our known external IPs, copy. Paste. Ah.
Just name it. Name it like JJ and Will or something like that.
Okay.
Oh no, I mean the host name.
Oh no, I think the host name is the actual public host name of the route.
Yeah.
So right now we have that external IP that the worker node is sitting on. So if we can put that in front of it.
I think that's what it will do. So just name the host name like JJ and Will, or
you sure?
name the name or something like that.
Okay.
It's public host name for the route.
Okay.
If not, it will be automatically generated.
Okay.
Which leads me to believe that it's probably not.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to do this. Check this out. I'm going to give you this thing over here. This guy right here. See? HTTP JJ and Will. So we want that external IP. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got you.
So
can we edit that now?
Yeah, let's just delete both of these. Right? And then delete this guy too. Because they're not actually doing anything.
This is the dangers of doing stuff live, right?
That's the fun part, man. We're trying to figure this shit out.
Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you don't actually know what you're doing.
Trust me, I haven't known what I've been doing for a very long time. Copy.
I like to pretend like I do, but usually I don't either.
You sound like a developer advocate. We'll do that route. And we already had a service, port 8080. So we'll try that.
Now let's try it.
Not quite.
Well, it's not on port 8080, is it?
It's not? I thought that's where we exposed it.
Well, no, but it's not. It's not going to 8080.
Oh, it's not?
Look at the URL.
Oh, good call.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work this time either, but...
No.
Yeah, I don't think that 169 that's not a publicly exposed IP address, is it?
No.
Yeah.
Any chance anyone watching on the stream knows what we can do here? I'm really at a loss.
Huh. We have a public IP on the. Is that 169.219? Is that the public IP we are hitting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's no obvious way to get the public IP at all here, is there?
So go to access.
Access. Yep, that's what I'm at.
Um, I was just hoping it used like maybe overview, but that's where I think we just were. Or overview maybe. I seem to remember. I seemed.
That's always fun. See, I don't like how there's no Ingress subdomain. That seems not good. And we can enable a private service endpoint, but that's we need to get to our thing.
Public service endpoint? Doesn't it look right there?
That's sitting on port 80 on that thing. That'd be bonkers.
Yeah, but that looks way too generic and not nearly long enough of a URL to be
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. I was worried for a minute there.
Like I imagine we like it wouldn't surprise me if we were some kind of like subdomain on top of that maybe, but
yeah. So we have.
All right, I'm gonna go back to Googling for a little bit.
Yeah, man.
I'm
gonna keep clicking around trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
For sure. We'll figure this out. I have faith.
So it says we're doing the traffic here.
So OpenShift expose. So are these called projects or deployments?
This is a project. No, sorry. A deployment inside of a project.
Just throw both of them in there for good measure.
Yeah, I haven't had lunch, so excuse my eating. I needed something in my stomach. Like, that looks right. It can't be the right IP because it's not going to that load balancer as you were saying. So how the hell do I find the load? Can you look for that? How to find your OpenShift load balancer?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that might be closer to what we're looking for. OC get LB maybe? No, that'd be too easy.
Okay, so do OC expose service and then the service name.
Like that?
Uh,
Yeah, I already did that.
get rid of the. Oh, okay, but the SVC I don't think you need, but yeah. Yeah, so it's already there.
Mm-hmm.
And so you should be able to do. Like OC. Is this noun, verb, or verb, noun?
I think noun, no, verb noun.
Verb, noun. So OC list route, or some variation like that.
Get route.
Get route, yeah.
I think putting that IP in is the wrong thing because that's a worker node, right? Like we need to be
Yeah.
going through the load balancer. Because
Yeah.
that was a mistake over here. Like that can't be right.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of that, just so it's not gonna throw us off.
Yeah. Because if we
Now try exposing it again.
that gave us the local again.
It's so weird because it's not even giving us the same output as the docs I was seeing.
I mean,
Oh yeah, it is.
I mean, I guess I could try this port 8080. That seems wrong though. Excuse me. Yeah, no. So it defaults to a local address. And that's generic. That can't be right.
So this is OpenShift container platform, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to make sure OpenShift wasn't like an umbrella term.
Yeah. Nope. OpenShift container platform. Service catalog. Default. Was I supposed to be doing all this stuff in here? See, there's an HPA proxy router. Service called router. And no, see, it's all internal IPs. Right? Is that an internal IP?
172, I don't. Yeah.
172.21. Yeah, that's 16. Yeah, 172.16 to 31 are all internal IPs.
Yeah.
So that's not helpful. And yeah, there's no route anyway. So this is,
it's either internal or loopback, one of the two.
yeah. So this is all like internal IBM-y stuff that we shouldn't touch. Search store, us, proxy, kube proxy maybe, kube public. This is so confusing.
Kube public. That sounds like a namespace. Kube system, kube public. I'm pretty sure these are just like a fancy thing over like. Namespaces.
So OpenShift container platform calls projects namespaces. Yeah, that makes sense. Look at all this. That matches up almost.
Yeah, because kube system, kube public, all that's Kubernetes namespaces.
Yeah. Got to be different, man. Got to be different, I guess.
So what that means, though, is I wonder, is there a way we can just spin up a Kubernetes load balancer?
I see where you're going. I can pick that up. But how do I can't connect to this Kubernetes instance, though.
Yeah, that might be a problem.
Like I have no way to get to use kubectl with this thing at all.
Let me. Okay, now that I know that.
Because they've obfuscated all away. We have to do everything through OC. Which, by the way, I hate this called OC instead of OS.
Oh yeah.
Because it's called OpenShift. Why is it called OC? Ugh.
OpenShift CLI? It's just shorter?
Maybe. And OC.
That's just my completely random guess with no actual backing there.
OC.
Actually, I think this... Let me send you this. What version of not Kubernetes, OpenShift are we using?
OC version 3.11.
3.11.
Oh, it's called OpenShift Client. That's why it's called OC.
Okay.
Yeah.
CLI could stand for client. So maybe check out this.
I mean, we could port forward this stuff, but that doesn't help us because the whole point is we want to do external stuff, right?
Yeah. Maybe check out that link I just sent you.
All right. This feels like a lot of reading, Will.
Yeah, the part I'm actually interested in, it's not really that much reading. So first part's just to log in. Second part's having you create IP, like your CIDRs. So we create a project and a service,
Mm-hmm.
and then we expose it. Then we create a route, and then create the load balancer service.
Mm-hmm.
And we configure the networking. But the problem is I don't know where we get that network, like the IP ranges.
Yeah. That's not a command. Yeah. Didn't give us an external IP at all. Was there just an option I missed or something on this thing? It seems really weird that it wouldn't give you external IPs.
I feel like this is something very, very easy to predict that this is what we'd want too.
Yeah, but it gives us an external IP for the worker node, right?
Yes. But I'm gonna log in and open my own instance just to see if I see any options that we missed or anything like that.
Yeah, man, go for it. This ID isn't one. Gives us a flavor. We're on a shared VM. VLANs. Again, this is all just worker stuff. I don't want to add a new worker pool. I don't get any information other than that.
Kubernetes clusters. Oh man, in my tenure away, it changed the interface for cloud.ibm.com quite a bit.
Yeah, it's starting to feel a little bit cleaner. It is different though. I'll give you that. Cluster ID.
I feel like it's one of those things where you never actually want to select. So I want to go to the standard OpenShift.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to single zone.
Correct.
You don't care what worker zone. Master service endpoint, public endpoint only. Default worker pool.
There's someone else we can loop in on this because this seems really obvious that we're missing something.
I can ping around.
Oh, here, you keep doing your thing. This also really makes me feel really, really like we can't see the master status because a VPN server configuration failed. It doesn't feel right.
I think something went bad.
On this instance, maybe. Maybe that could be it. That this just was a broken instance at the very beginning. But how else am I supposed to know? I can get into
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah. You're kind of using like kind of a proxy though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Uh,
So just one worker node. One worker node, 4 core, 16 gigs RAM. It's cheap, yeah. Master endpoint with private and public endpoints.
hmm.
Uh,
Oh, Slack
yeah.
just updated. That's the reason why I can't find anything.
So the IP allocation is $16 a month. So we're definitely getting an IP.
Let's see here. Wow, my computer's so slow. Oh, maybe Mofi. Mofi's probably played with this, hasn't
Mofi, yeah, that's a good call.
he? Yeah, where's Mofi at?
Although, I don't know, he might be gone.
I just pinged him. Let's see.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Mofi, there you are. Here we go.
If you guys watch our stream at all, you're probably familiar with Mofi.
Absolutely.
Great guy. Can't say enough good things about him.
Where the hell did...
Fun fact, me and Mofi actually biked all around Vancouver, Canada together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's actually how I met him. If you ever find yourself in Vancouver, just rent one of their bikes. They're super cheap, and they have beautiful landscape you can bike around.
Nice. Yeah, Vancouver is gorgeous. It really, truly is. Let's see. Come on, Mofi. Hey, Mofi. Maybe. Oh, your sound's all jacked up.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man.
Hey.
So, first of all, when we warn you, you just joined a live stream. Yeah.
Cool.
Will and I are live streaming us learning OpenShift because.
Oh, wow.
Unsuccessful right now.
Yeah, unsuccessfully. I started about 2 p.m. Central Time, and I went through learning Minishift on my laptop, and while I was spinning up an OpenShift instance on our cloud, and it came up, and we actually got an application built inside of it, but we can't seem to get an external IP. By any chance, have you played with this yet?
So the service, when you do the OC get service, it doesn't give you external IP already?
Nope.
So what
Nope.
are you, and this is the public cluster that we have on IBM Cloud.
Yes, this is IBM Cloud right here. Give me a second. This is what it's called.
We also have like a weird VPN failure though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. I think This one means you're not getting any like load balancer connected to it. That's why you're not getting an external IP. If it failed on the VPN server failure.
Oh, really? So this is an actual is an actual issue?
Yeah, I mean, if like the thing is, the reason you're not getting external IP because like external IP, it's not part of Kubernetes. It's basically each cloud provider adds their own like load balancer on top to give people external IPs.
Okay.
I think, can you try with Ingress instead of external IP, like load balancer? Like export the service using an Ingress instead of.
Sorry. Yeah.
Or like try a node port. I want to just see like at least can you access it using node.
Well, I can't do anything apart from OC commands, right? Like
no. Again, the cluster itself is still a Kubernetes cluster. You can do all Kubernetes things on it.
But I don't have any rights to get anywhere. I can't cluster config to it. Can I?
Yeah.
Oh.
So one thing I do want you to do, can you list the namespaces for us? Just because I want to see if we were right about the project's really just being namespaces.
Okay, hang on. Oh, I didn't realize we could actually just cluster config to it. Ascar labs.io. Is that what I called it?
Also, if you look at access, you can still also see how you can access. You have to do CS between cluster and config.
Oh, thank you. It's KS.
You can do CS too. Both works.
KS. It's cluster. It's Kubernetes, not container anymore.
Well, I mean, it's Kubernetes and OpenShift now, so.
Uh-oh.
CS somehow is more. Okay.
Oh, maybe you haven't SSO. Hang on. SSO. Hang on.
Oh, that's an important step.
Yep. Gotta log in, right?
Another thing I started doing was like I set up like a alias with API key, so I can just do IC login. It just logs me in with the right everything.
Oh yeah.
Where is this streaming at?
So streaming. Well, IBM Cloud or IBM Developers restreaming it, but it's actually streaming under my namespace. But because I'm part of the team or whatever.
Right.
Oh crap. It restreams me through there. So basically, this is the only time I ever get to do any real like engineering work. So I take full advantage of it. And because it's under my namespace, I can get away with whatever I want to do, you know? Within reason, of course.
Right.
Nope.
So is it like just list all the clusters and let's see if we have the cluster with a different name maybe.
Yes. List. Rep.
I think you can just do clusters, not list.
Oh really?
It's clusters.
There it is. Oh, I still have one. I thought I deleted that one. Oops. Cluster config. No, there we go. Must have spelled something wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, get namespaces. Okay, good.
So right now you're user anonymous, but right. Okay. What if you do OC get namespaces? What does it do?
Yeah, I'm still. So I need to upload or get higher privileges to someone higher. Because you're right.
Yeah, OC does like in beginning, like set up user permission. You have a developer login and you have a admin login. If you go back to the photo, like IBM Cloud, on the access, let's see how does it ask us to log in as an admin.
That goes under this guy, copy login command.
Yeah, no, go back to the IBM Cloud portal, like on the like the one tab left. Yeah, the access tab on the top. Yeah. Okay, you did already. You did that already. Okay, let's.
Yeah.
So you already copied that. So let's maybe paste that in your.
Oops.
It showed you copied, right? Yeah.
And then tells me the project, and I want to use OC.
Now you can go OC get NS now to see all the namespaces.
Yep, there we go. Yep, we were right.
Try K-get NS now.
Sorry again?
Like try the K-get NS now. I think your user got set up now. It probably will work. I'm not 100% sure because when I tried with Minishift.
There we go. You're right.
Yeah. So now your user is set up. Now everything is running through the same user. So all the commands you can run through OC can also run through Kubernetes, like kubectl.
Okay. So K-get service. So here are our services.
So it pending basically means somehow it didn't connect, like one of those VLAN thing that connects usually, depending on where you're setting up. If the private LANs are overloaded, they wouldn't do it. I usually had that issue when I tried putting something in the south, like Dallas region. On Washington, usually I always got like an external IP, like load balancers connected to mine.
Something did just fall over during the setup.
Yeah. So this whole time we've been trying to basically figure something out when it was just a bad deploy.
Yeah, another thing you can try. I mean, even in a load balancer, the node port is still set at 30290. So if you find one of the IPs of your worker node, you should be still able to see the application on this port.
All right, give me 2 seconds. Hang on. Sorry, my
worries.
My pump is yelling at me. All right. So yeah,
well,
go ahead.
Makes me feel slightly less idiotic.
So what was that port again, Mofi?
You can do like IBM Cloud, KS, workers, and then your...
yeah, it's this one right here.
Yeah, then do the external colon the port.
Which port?
The port, like go back to the terminal.
This one?
Yeah, 30290. Yeah.
Okay, hang on. So then we could go back to this guy and create a route to...
Forward from...
Yeah, to port 80, right?
8080.
Is it port 80 or 80? It should be...
This is port...
80.
80, yeah.
But we want one that goes to 8080.
Yeah, so we just change this over here. Wait, I can't change it. What kind of crap is that? Why can't I change that? Oh. Right?
So close yet so far away.
I'm not crazy, right? Like, I can't change that.
Oh, no. Yeah, that doesn't look like it's changeable.
Why is
the
it?
Drop down.
Yeah, why is it a drop down then? That doesn't make any sense.
I think if you had like HTTPS, then something would go to 443. That's why the drop down, but I don't think
probably, yeah.
And another reason, I think port 80, no one has access to, but your application somehow is trying to get access. You probably have to change it on the application level.
Oh my
open up.
God, what kind of crap is this? We can't change that either because of web app. Ah. Oh well. Okay. Well, that was fun. Okay. Well, I guess what I'll do is this was the I'm stuck. Like, I guess there's nothing else really to play around with here because obviously we can't do anything else. Yeah. That's disappointing. Though playing with Minishift was pretty fun.
I actually had like a lot of issues with Minishift when I was first setting it up. Like I set up on my personal laptop, it just like OpenShift also, if you download the OpenShift CLI, they also have like the OpenShift cluster create command that that's supposed to like do Docker and Docker to set up an OpenShift cluster for you.
Mm-hmm.
So on my laptop, that worked easily. Minishift was like a pain. Then on my work laptop, Minishift worked pretty easily. Then the OpenShift wasn't working. And the error messages are so random. Like it's just like, and I had the same like MacBook, OS version and everything. It wasn't working. So
yeah, I actually had a really good time with OpenShift or Minishift. Actually, it worked almost flawlessly for me.
How many laptops did you try this on?
I did not. I have a ThinkPad running Ubuntu. And you can actually see it right here. Here we go. Here's me exporting it out, evaluating, pushing up a Node app here, then actually installing, building into it, and then exposing it and actually being able to get it up and running.
Right.
And then I even went to a different application and created a new app inside of it. Found it all, built it for me, and then actually watched it. I discovered though the Git config pulls directly from the remote. So when it tries to clone via GitHub, host key verification failed. So you actually have to clone. You have to change it to the HTTP, and then as soon as you do that, which is where. Here, then it actually just pulls it down just fine, as you can see here, and actually built it just fine, pushed the little Ruby app, and I had it up and running without a problem. So
yeah, I pretty much got everything you said. I think the problem with right now is your voice and your video feed are not 100% matched.
Oh.
So sometimes you say like here, I'm like, you're scrolling, what here? But no, I got the gist of it.
Yep. Cool. Well, yeah, I guess thanks, Mofi, for verifying that we weren't crazy.
Right. I think that's the big takeaway here.
Yeah.
It would be a shame if
Yeah, thanks a lot, Mofi. we were starting to really start to bang our heads on the wall.
No, I think I totally get you. It happened to me before a workshop once. I was not like, I tried it on 3 different other like cluster worked. Then I was not getting external IP, and I thought I was going crazy. But no, you guys are not going crazy just yet. You will probably eventually go crazy, but not yet.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. You guys want to say goodbye real quick?
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much for watching us mess around here.
And thanks so much for like watching me as well, getting confused and confusing other people. So that's
no, that's good. That's good. That's
the dangers of live streaming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a gift and a curse at the same time. But yeah, until next time, guys. I'll bounce.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday, I believe. If not, just
what are we doing Tuesday? Do you know?
I think next Tuesday I was planning on. I have a list of things that I've been wanting to learn, and let me bring up my list real quick. Where'd it go? Where'd my list go? Sorry, give me a second. So I actually wanted to play with setting up some persistent storage using something called Rook, or I was thinking about playing around with Ingress controllers in general. I've never actually played with Nginx or Traffic, and especially after our issue here with our pending IPs, it might be interesting to dig a little bit into Ingress controllers and actually really understand what they do and how they work to see how that works.
I actually have a couple of guests, if you want, I can introduce you to that. That's kind of their focus.
Ooh, yeah. Let's do that. But let me go ahead and sign off from here, and then
right.
we can talk about it, and then we'll work forward. Well, again, thanks everybody.
Bye.